Good morning, my friends, and welcome back to my channel. It is Wednesday, so it is time for weigh-in. Got my tea, got my chicken shirt. I'm ready to go. So, these last couple weeks have been rough. We've had so many social things, so many eating out events. I've done okay. I've made good choices while I was out, and it's finally starting to pay off. So this week I got on the scale and I was down 2.6 pounds. I knew I was going to be down. I just knew it. I had a feeling. I didn't think I was going to be down that much, but after staying the same last week, I guess I'm not surprised. I had a fantastic week this week. We did have, pinochle night, which included dessert. We had, what did we have on Saturday? Do we have anything on Saturday? We had the funeral on Saturday. So that was, food that was, I don't want to say out of my control because I was in control. I just made smart choices. If you saw my weekend vlog, I had a half of a sandwich. I filled my plate with salad. I just made smart choices. I even had some dessert. I stayed away from the Mile High pound cake and the apple cake and the chocolate cake that was just looked amazing. It was all these layers with all this cream, and I stayed away from all that. And I did have a little something, but I just was in control. Same when we took Andrew out to dinner on Sunday, lunch, dinner kind of thing. I looked at the menu. There were several good choices on there that sounded absolutely delicious. But the turkey club just really jumped out at me. I ate half. And I did have some fries, but I had very few. Just enough to satisfy me. And I was so proud of how I did. I made a birthday cake for Andrew, a chocolate birthday cake. But I also made a 2-point chocolate mug cake for me to take. That way I was still eating cake with everyone else. I was just doing it a little bit differently. And honestly, it was fine. Now, on my birthday, I had birthday cake. The birthday cake that, we had. Because it was my celebration. This was Andrew's celebration. I was still able to join in on the fun. I just did it a little bit differently. So all those factors together helped me have a very successful week. I never felt like I was left out. I never felt deprived. I'm thrilled with the way my week went, and I plan on it to continue this week. I want to have another really great week. So that's the plan. So down 2.6, I will take it, and it will just fuel me to keep going and stick to the program. So now that that's out of the way, I can't even drink my tea yet. It's still too hot. We'll put that down. I normally don't put it in my little Yeti because it stays so hot, but it was on the counter, so I just tossed it in there. So this week they are continuing with the Obstacle Breakthrough series. This is the last week for it. And this week is how to be on WW even if your crew isn't. And I know that is huge for so many people. So many people have children and spouses and best friends and partners who are not, or who do not need to be on a weight loss journey. Some have those people that do need to be on a weight loss journey. They're just not ready to commit yet. So what do you do when you're ready and the people around you aren't? Trust me, it can still be done. I was lucky that Doug actually started before I did, so I definitely had the support there. But a lot of times now, he doesn't have to be nearly as careful as I do. So a lot of times he goes out of the zone a little bit. And it can be a challenge for me sometimes, but we make it work. So it says, how to be on WW even if your crew isn't. Try this. Pick someone who's not on WW to bring along on your weight loss and wellness journey. This can make it easier and give you a welcome boost of support. I don't know if I buy that. Number 1, think of one person in your daily life who impacts or is impacted by you being on WW. That can be your partner, your kid, your friend, your parent, your coworker. Think about it. There's a lot of people probably. And then you have to choose a strategy to include that person on your journey. Let's say it's your family, your spouse, your partner, your child. What can you do to assure yourself success while not making yourself crazy? One thing you can do, it says, is meal prep about the entire family, not just your needs. Pack a lunch for your child or your partner. Now, I know with us, I still cook all of the family favorites. And this was very, very important to me. If you've been around my channel, you've heard me say it 100 times, 1,000 times. Whatever you do and eat to lose the weight, you are going to have to do forever to maintain the loss. So learn early on how to fit in the foods that you love. So many people start this journey and I hear the same thing. Well, I only eat zucchini noodles now. Well, I only eat cauliflower rice now. Well, once I lose the weight and hit goal, I'm going to switch back to regular rice and regular pasta. I got news for you. If you do that, you're going to gain your weight right back because your body gets used to one thing and then you're throwing it into a tailspin. And you're not learning how to fit those foods in. You're not learning how to make this a lifestyle. So trust me, early on, learn to fit in the foods you love. I do cook a little bit differently. We have a lot of family favorite recipes, and I am not giving up certain family recipes because they are not point friendly. I will, number 1, find ways to make them a little more point friendly, or number 2, just learn how to fit them in. One of the things I make that my family loves is, it's called something different in every part of the country. Every time I talk about this, I give this disclaimer. We call it chicken pot pie. Now, chicken pot pie is different than chicken pie. Chicken pie is the top crust and the bottom crust with the meat and vegetable filling inside in our neck of the woods. Chicken pot pie, a lot of people call chicken and dumplings. It's not chicken and dumplings because dumplings are those big, round, fluffy, biscuit-like things. Chicken pot pie is flat noodles, and it's cooked for a long time on top of the stove. I think Cracker Barrel calls it chicken and dumplings maybe, I think they do. But that's our chicken pot pie. Anyway, long story short. That is a family favorite. I make homemade noodles. It cooks all day. It's just delicious. And it is 13 points per serving. Yeah, it's a lot of points, isn't it? But think about it. Let's just say you're on the blue plan. You get a minimum of 23 points a day. So you're going to use 13 points for dinner. It still gives you 10 points for the day. You could have scrambled eggs and chicken sausage for breakfast for 1 point. You could have a salad or a fruit salad or some tuna fish for lunch for 1 to 2 points. And then your 13-point dinner. So there you go. It's fit in. It is fit into your program. So never ever say that you cannot have something. Can you eat the whole pot? Nope, you have to stick to a serving. Or, heck, have a serving and a half and use all 23 points for dinner. That's okay too. You're eating good, nutritious food. You're not blowing those points on empty calorie snacks, processed snacks, junk food, cookies, chips, things like that. You're using those points on good, healthy food that's going to stick with you and keep you full. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of real food. Don't be afraid to make those family favorites. Like I said, lighten them up a little bit. Now, back in the beginning, I was using a lot of light products, sugar-free, fat-free, things like that. And you know that in January, we made the switch back to all whole foods. So I am back to using real butter. I am back to using full fat, for the most part, cheese. We don't use, the only fat-free thing that I think I use still is half and half, because I do like the Aldi's fat-free half and half. And I like creamy stuff. You know that. If you've watched me, you know I like creamy stuff. So that gets the job done for me. But even using real butter, I'm still within my points. I just use less of it. So, you know, think about that too. Like if you don't, you know, there's so many people that are like, oh, I don't want to use sugar-free and I don't want to use fat-free and I don't want to use fake butter. You don't have to. You just have to learn to fit it in. And that is part of bringing other people into your journey is what do you want to feed them? And that was a lot for me, you know, in January when Doug and I started discussing, you know, moving back to whole foods. And, you know, we thought, what do we want to put in our bodies? Do we want to put food with 30 ingredients into our bodies, or do we want to put food with 2 ingredients into our bodies? And this is just our personal choice. You run your journey and your health the way you want to, and don't let anybody ever tell you not to. This has been huge for us, though. I will say that it has been huge for us. It has been huge in our health. It has been huge in our everything. But everybody has to do it their own way. But I am going to reiterate again and again that learn how to fit in your favorites. Once a month, sometimes twice a month in the summer, we still have homemade ice cream. It's a lot of points, but we love it and we fit it in. And this is what you have to do if you're going to do this for life. So you need to get other people on board with you. That was a little bit of a rant off topic, but you know how I feel about this. This is what I base everything on. So, you know, one of the things, like I said, is planning your menu to get other people on board. Don't constantly feed them baked chicken and steamed vegetables because you're all going to get bored with it. Find delicious recipes, find good food, find things like that. And before you know it, somebody else in your family might be dropping a few pounds because of the way that you are cooking and the example that you are setting. It also says to, especially like with friends, turn catch-up time into an activity. Go for a walk. Instead of calling your BFF up on the phone and chatting for an hour, call your BFF up and say, hey, let's catch up, let's take a walk. Then you're getting some activity in. So find little ways like that. Meal plan together as a family. If you have, you know, ask people what they want to eat, because that way, when you get input, number one, it makes it easier on you. Number two, they're more likely to eat it. They're more likely to eat those healthy, good for them foods when they're involved in the planning. There was something else I thought of and forgot now. Also, don't be afraid to sit your family down. And these are the people that impact your daily life, you know, the people that you live with. Don't be afraid to sit them down and say, look, here's the deal. I'm doing this for me, but I need your help. So I am not going to bring in the big bags of potato chips and the big packs of cookies and the boxes of tasty cakes. I'm not going to do it because X, Y, or Z is a trigger for me and sets me off. Tell your family, if you want that, then you need to eat it outside of the home. Now, I know if you have small children, that's hard. Like my kids, I can say, you run to Wawa and get a tasty cake if that's what you want. I'm not bringing them in the house. I know when you have smaller kids, it's hard. But, you know, try to buy things that are single serve. I am not a proponent of using a lot of single serve things because of the packaging and the impact on the environment and the cost and things like that. But sometimes we have to do what's better for us. And that could be buying the single serve bags of potato chips. That way, if you trip and fall into a bag of those, you're only eating a little single serve bag. You're not eating the whole 1 pound bag of Doritos. So you have to think about things like that too. Luckily with my family, everybody was pretty on board with a health journey. So we stopped buying that. And it's harder when you have kids, and I get that. But if you're at the point where your kids are older or where they're out of the house or at college or something, and it's your spouse that's giving you problems, you need to have a heart-to-heart with them, because if you don't bring it into the house, you're not going to eat it. And one of my subscribers, I'm going to try to get this right. One of my subscribers, Jen, I call her Woodstock Jen, because that's her little profile picture, said something that her leader always says to them, their WW leader. And let me tell you, I read the comment right before we went into Costco, and I read it out loud to Doug. And I thought about that comment walking all the way through Costco. And it was, in the store, you only have to say no 1 time. When it's in your home, you have to say no over and over. Think about that. When you are in the store shopping and see something, you only have to say no to it that 1 time. But if you don't say no to it in the store and you bring it home, you're saying no to it every time you open the cabinet. And let me tell you, some of us don't have that kind of resolve. We may have that kind of resolve for the first day or 2 or 3. Then we can start breaking down. So leave it in the store and talk to your family about that. You know, if tortilla chips or corn chips or, I don't know, crackers, whatever, cookies, if that's your downfall, talk to your family about it. Explain to them that that's a trigger for you and you don't want to bring it in the house no matter how much they like it. And make a concession. Have them help you on your journey by making a concession. And 10 to 1, they probably shouldn't be eating it either. Think about it. I know, tough love. Tough love. You know that's how I roll. You know that's how I roll. So just some things to think about when bringing others in on your wellness journey. Like I said, I lucked out. Doug made the decision before I did to start. And, you know, it's not always easy, like I said, because, you know, he's at a different, he maintains a lot easier than I do. And he has a lot more self-control than I do. So it's not always easy, because sometimes he'll have a second or third helping. And, you know, sometimes he'll have some snacks that I just can't quite fit in. And I'm not talking anything horrible. I'm just talking like a handful of pretzels. Well, I might not be able to fit a handful of pretzels in, you know? So I grab some fruit. It's a concession I make. It's a concession he makes. So talk to your family. Don't be afraid to talk to them and spill your guts and tell them. Get them on board with you. So they want you to create a plan based on finding someone and picking an activity. And just think about it. Think about what you're going to do and think about how you can bring them in with you. Because this is all part of setting up your environment for success. You know, we can set up the good food. We can set up a meal plan. We can set up a meal prep. But unless the people around you are supporting you and helping you, it's going to be tough. So we need to get them on board. So that is it. A little bit off topic there, because you know me. It's a guideline. I don't work for WW, so I can pretty much do it how I want to do it. So think about that. Talk to the people closest to you. And you know what? If you have a friend who maybe could use to lose a little bit of weight, you know, maybe invite them along on your journey, or your spouse or a child or anyone. Invite them along, because you never know what's going to happen. And you know, one of our biggest resources of cheerleaders is YouTube. You know, I watch some YouTubers faithfully who give me encouragement, who give me ideas, who just helped me along on my journey. So, find someone. If I'm not that person, if I don't help you, because my style's different from a lot of people. I'm a little bit more hardcore than most people when it comes to tough love, because it's just my style and it's what I need for me. I'm not the whole kumbaya, everything's going to be wonderful type. And that's okay. Find somebody who is, if that's your style. There's a lot of us out here, and you're bound to find someone who's going to click with you. So that is it. I talked way too long today. I hope I helped. So there you have it. If you know anyone that could use this video or use a good tough love talking to, be sure to share my channel with them. And that's it. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love you to hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. You'll know every time I upload, which is several times a week. Still trying to work out this new schedule, my new work schedule. So I haven't been filming as many full days of eating and cook with me's because of that. And if you watch my channel, you know it's been rough the last couple of weeks with working, not working. This one has COVID, that one has COVID. I'm tested for COVID. It's been insane. So I will try to get back on some kind of schedule. And also, real quick, there is a collab coming out on October 9th. It's a fall, I forget the name of it now, fall back into good habits or fall back into something. I'll have to look at the name of it again. But it's just sitting and talking and trying to come up with some ways that we can all get back into our good habits, into our healthy eating, into that kind of thing. So look for that on October 9th. It is hosted by the fabulous Sandy over at Let's Get Fit with Sandy. So it should be a good one. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. Really. Oh, no, I'm not. The recipe. 1 pan roasted fennel with potato, peppers, and chicken chorizo. How do you say that sausage? I don't eat it because it's spicy. It looks good. I'm not a huge fennel fan, but the potato and the peppers and the sausage, I kind of make a sheet pan, something like that already. It's 8 points on blue and green and 7 points on the purple plan because of the potatoes. That's why it's less on the purple plan. So anyway, that is it. I promise. Have a good one. Take care, and let me know in the comments below how your week is going, how your weigh-ins are going, and let me know if there's anything at all I can do to help you out. Have a great one, and we'll talk to you soon.